Last year, Ludwig uploaded a video giving out some advice to new creators trying to start streaming.
I think people like the idea of being a streamer or YouTuber or content creator really in any fashion, so I thought it would be helpful if I imparted some of my knowledge on how to make it as a streamer.
And although I didn't heavily commit to streaming, I was getting a lot more involved in YouTube content, and I figured that most of the advice that he gave would fit pretty well into the YouTube sphere as well, and turns out it actually does. Now, he said a lot in this video. I mean, it's almost an hour long. So I'm gonna take the most key points from the video and talk about my experience through 2022 as a small creator based on the advice that Ludwig gave.
Every single person who said, yes, you need to do this right now, write this down. First of all, when are you gonna start?
This varied a lot for various different things, but the general idea was to start consistently uploading on January 1st of 2022. We're gonna start this off with a fail because I miserably failed at that because I spent a lot of my year in 2022 finishing up Bark, my horror game that I just released. This meant that my upload schedule got thrown all off.
Number 2 is have a set period of time and goals you would like to achieve by the end of that set period of time.
Now, naturally, because I didn't have a specific time frame, I just set these goals for 1 year, starting around, midway of 2021 and going through the end of 2022. My next goal was actually initially 300 subscribers, but after releasing Bark, that blew up and that changed to 500, which changed to 750, which now changed to 1,000, and we hit all of those goals. So I'd say that's a pretty big win.
And then the final thing to write down, 3 to 5 creators you want to emulate, right? Someone that you like, that you think you could emulate.
I've added a few since I initially wrote these down, but my initial few were Ludwig, of course, but I wanted to take his idea of every stream as a YouTube video and twist it around a little bit. This led me down the path of what I try to do now, which is create the title and or thumbnail before I record the video. Next up was Mizkif, and this one was more directed towards streaming. Whenever I would start streaming, I would hop into a voice channel, and then anybody in the server could just hop into that channel with me at any time. Now this kind of worked, but it also kind of didn't because most of my friends who were in that server, their schedules did not at all line up with mine. And to this day, that's still a huge issue. It's a great idea, it just didn't really work out yet. I'd still like to achieve that though, moving forward. Next up, of course, is Markiplier. A lot of the ways that he says things and the jokes that he makes and all of the expressions, just because of how much of an inspiration he's been and the fact that I've watched so much of his content, it kind of filters into my own. And the same goes for Jacksepticeye here. I kind of do that same thing where I take his energy and I pull that into my content. Most recently, I added JSlat because of his humor and his video style, and also Mr. Beast, where you want to get the entire point of the entire video in the first 30 seconds so that anybody watching your video knows exactly what to expect by the end of the video before they even have a chance to click off the video.
I rented a $1 million a night hotel room, and I also rented this $1,000 a night cave, this $10,000 a night underwater palace, this $50,000 a night island, and so much more. And we're gonna spend the night in all of them, starting with the world's cheapest hotel all the way in India.
Today's the day I'm gonna rank every cereal known to man. And make no mistake, this list will upset you. 1 second. Inside this box is literally every cereal I know of. Look, I'm a big cereal guy. They call me Mr. Cereal. Everyone in my family just kind of loves it. We'll just be sitting there scooping entire handfuls into our mouths like there's nothing wrong. So I got the tier list here. We're gonna rank them from S to F. S being the best, F being the worst, and we're gonna piss some people off in the process. So let's get started.
Of course, Ludwig had his moment here where he said,
if you didn't write anything down, but you want to be a streamer, this is the #1 best thing you can do. Quit.
Which made me feel pretty good because I did write everything down. I was one of the people who actually did commit, and I paused the video and I actually did write the things down. Now, one of the things that wasn't necessarily a goal that I didn't touch on here was the way that he described growth on any platform. I mean, this applies to pretty much anything.
The 3 ways to grow. Collaboration is probably one of the best ways to grow, but you need to have a bedrock of content to make them work, and they don't have to be with insanely large streamers. Next, outside traction. I think conventionally everyone knows, like, hey, you gotta be posting on YouTube and TikTok and Twitter. You can bring viewers from those sites over to Twitch to stream or wherever you want to stream. It can also mean getting outside traction from a community. Finally, the last way to grow are big events. If you do something big, if you hype it up enough, it'll blow up. Really good content comes above all else.
I didn't necessarily do any of these, but I think I most fit into big events and outside traction, as much as I would love to do collaborations. And if you're a creator out there and you'd like to collaborate with me, let me know in the comments. I am all down. I would love to collaborate with other creators that kind of fit in the same genres as me, if you can even fit my content into any genre. Now, obviously, one of the biggest events was Thankmas in 2021 at the very end. It was in December, and we raised over $100,000. I've got a video, I'll link it in the info card. That's why Jacksepticeye's name is on the wall so big, and that's why there's all these other names kind of hidden behind the Christmas tree here. Jacksepticeye donated $100,000 to my campaign on Thankmas, so that's a pretty big deal and a big event, I'd say. And yes, I will be participating in Thankmas again this year on either December 9th or December 10th. I haven't 100% decided yet. Be on the lookout for that. I'll be providing more information as I figure things out. And second was outside traction. Now, I think this also kind of applies to big events here. I released a horror game, Bark, and that brought in a lot of outside traction, but that was also a big event. Those two kind of go hand in hand. Both of those really did help my channel grow, so I think he's very much correct.
Now we have to think of ideas that work for you. And I cannot tell you how many times I look in my DMs and I see someone who thinks of an idea that would work if they only had X money, X number of viewers, 5K viewers, if they were friends with me, if they were friends with Corpse, whatever. And that's fine. That's great. Wow, great idea. Hopefully you get there to do it. But you're not there. So why are you wasting your time thinking of videos, streams that you will never be able to do? What do you stream? This is the #1 thing you need to stream to make it big. The yoink and twist, baby. What everybody else is doing.
I love this. Thank you, Ludwig. The yoink and twist is something that I try to do all the time, even though I'm really bad at it. I'm getting better now. Yoinking an idea from a creator and twisting it with another creator's idea just makes for the perfect combination that makes your content unique.
I really, truly don't think there's anything wrong with people emulating art.
Every single piece of art is influenced by another piece of art.
It's derivative. Everything. The human experience is derivative. That doesn't mean it's lesser because of it. That means it's greater.
It's necessary for evolution.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to build on what comes before.
And that's what makes content beautiful, is because we can take what somebody else creates and make something completely new and interesting just based on it existing and the inspiration that it created. And that being said, I haven't quite perfected the idea of finding what content I can create personally. That one's a bit rough for now. We're getting there. That one we're working on. And of course, his final and most important piece of advice is
you simply have to be better. Unfortunately, the rich get richer. The big channels get more viewers. It's not easy advice, and it's very hard to do, but it is the actual fact of the matter.
You have to just be a better creator than all of your competition, because otherwise, who's gonna watch you? And this, I think I've actually been pretty good at. The personality that I am on the internet is better in a lot of ways than other creators. Now, I'm not saying that to be narcissistic in any way. There are obviously millions and millions of creators who are way better than me at so many different things in so many different ways, but at the same time, I know that I am more skilled and more energetic and more charismatic than some other creators that maybe don't try as hard, maybe haven't fallen into their type of content yet. I'm sure there are creators right now that have no subscribers that will pass me someday, and that's totally fine. That's a thumbs up for me, because that means I'm doing something right. Tell me in the comments if you think I'm wrong, but don't. That's just gonna make me sad. He also explains how small of a percentage actually quote unquote make it. Now, these are Twitch statistics, so obviously not the same data, but still very similar idea.
Tell me the number of people who streamed last month. It is 6.9 million. It is very well known, it is very mainstream, and it is very competitive. Just for even more reference, there are 45,400 partners. Those are people who I would say have made it. 0.66% of people make it.
And that's a scary number, but you also have to consider how many creators there are that upload once or upload the same content, never grow, never evolve, and just fade eventually because nobody's watching their content. How many channels have 10 views? How many channels have 1 subscriber, right? Now, if I compare myself to the other creators that are putting as much effort and passion and energy into what I'm doing, then maybe that number is a bit higher, like say 5 to 10%. That's a stretch, but that's also still a very small small chance that I will make it as a creator. And the reason I put this in here, and the reason I think Ludwig put this in here as well, is by saying this, he is simply saying that if you are not willing to go the extra mile and put in the extra effort to be a better creator than the other creators out there, then you're not gonna make it. So I think even though my content's still struggling to be seen, that's still a thumbs up for me. I think we're in a pretty good spot to start setting some goals for next year. Now, the first thing is I want to commit to a good schedule for YouTube videos. I want to start uploading consistently starting January 1st, 2023. And I'm going to start with 3 videos a week, every week for the entirety of 2023. I think that's very achievable for me right now. Now, next up, and a lot of people are probably gonna get mad at me for this is the subscriber goal. We hit 1,000 subscribers, and growth is exponential on YouTube, as most people are aware. I could be chill and say 10K. But I think that if I really commit to this, we could hit 10K in the next few months. So exponential growth says that 100,000 subscribers is the next step. Is this reasonable? In terms of YouTube statistics, yes. In terms of me, maybe. I hope so. Obviously, long ways away. That requires an insane amount of people, but I think that is the next logical step for me in my own YouTube journey goals. Now, as for the creators that I want to emulate, I think this is pretty much going to stay the same. I don't really have a whole lot to change here, but I think I might add some people. This is kind of a crossover because I think it fits into both Dream/PewDiePie in the idea that every video or series or whatever you're doing can be a soap opera. It can be dramatic. It can be extra. All right, so that's it. Those were my goals for 2022 and what I achieved. These are my goals now for 2023. Hopefully we can achieve all of them, and I'm gonna need your help. So, hey, go ahead and check right now. Are you subscribed? Did you like the video? It's all free and it really helps me out. It helps support me and it helps launch me into what will hopefully very soon become my full-time career. As always, don't forget to check out Bark. The link will be at the very top of the description. Join us again on either December 9th or December 10th, or both, depending on what I end up doing, for Thankmas. We'll be live right here on YouTube, maybe on Twitch if I can manage to do both. But it's gonna be a huge ordeal. It'll be a big event as always. We'll be adding names to the wall again, and this time I have a Christmas tree, so that's also cool. Thanks for watching.